Lords and ladies, welcome back to MyStreet, 5 years later, with your host, Jacob Butter. And your guest, Ghosty.
Hi, I'm here.
There you go, I combined them this time.
Things
All right,
are about to go off the rails, and I'm here for it.
Indeed, we do have, I will say, a little bit of a detour first. There is something else that I'm combining today. There happens to be another video that came out that I haven't quite actually watched. It's only a minute long. It's just something that I wanted to show off here particularly. We'll get there in a second. Just saying hello to Andromeda is pretty, and also to Maya. Okay, wonderful. So what I wanted to just do quickly is go ahead and watch a video that Aiden posted today. This will probably be something I put separately somewhere else. I'm not sure where yet. So basically, it's this is an idea that I gave him. It came from the fact that that Cammy, the voice actress of Mrs. Dysart, for some reason accidentally recorded Harvey's lines. So there was a perfectly good take of all of Harvey's lines for a certain scene, just going completely to waste. So, you know, that what I said to Aiden, why not make a sketch out of it and just put Cammy's lines over Harvey's voice or something. What I should have said was get me to record Mrs. Dysart in Harvey's voice as well to make it even funnier, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna watch and see how it actually turned out.
What if Harvey sounded like Mrs. Dysart?
What indeed?
You
What
could,
have
Harvey?
indeed?
Yeah, I was just thinking about a thing someone mentioned called Campe. I can tell you all about it.
Just realized the problem, of course. Yeah, that's why I said I should have done the Harvey as Mrs. Dysart, because now it's just talking to himself and it's not quite. Anyway.
So my powers started working a little bit, but they're hit and miss with when they want to work. Am I interrupting something?
Kind of. But we can pick up at a later date.
Very well. I'll just go practice my powers. You two want to help me out?
Sure. I can definitely use a distraction.
Yeah, speaking of distraction, I'd love the contrast now of having the high-pitched Mrs. Dysart in stereo versus the really gruff and gravelly voice of Ralph. I don't know. Oh, and that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, I was saving comments and stuff, being like, okay, well, I won't dissect every little thing, but then I realized, oh yeah, it's only a minute long, and Aiden's outro is like that long. Okay, well, that was a thing. I saw this one already. I love how the skit turned out.
It's really short.
If I'd realized it was going to be that length, I probably wouldn't have suggested the skit, but you know what? It worked out.
It worked. It just works.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to get into the real matter of the day, which is, of course, the business of revolutions.
Starlight yes, the first episode where we start to veer from slice of life into the chaos that is season 6.
And indeed, the first Athmal 3 part we've had in a little while, actually. So we'll see how it goes. The Athmal has had a weird history with 3-parters. They started off, actually, the first one was all right, the second one was pointless, and the third one was where all the good stuff happens. That was what it was in the early days. Then it eventually got a little bit more balanced throughout, but when there was a massive gap in between them, suddenly it was like, oh, wait a minute, you've gone back to the old practice, and then, oh, the new practice again. So we could be in for either thing at this point. Without further distraction, on with the reaction. I don't like the consistency of Kawaii-chan keeping a massive briefcase as well.
What's her problem?
No.
Maybe it's a case scenario where She bought it, so she had to stick with it.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, we know the Zane bought it, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe it's their combined luggage or something.
Okay, in that voice, there definitely is a problem.
Yeah, more like excitement.
Wait, what?
I thought you got the memo.
No, I didn't. Why are we gathered here anyway?
Why are you even here if you don't know what's going on?
See, I probably would know that if I wasn't kept up all night thanks to someone snoring!
Who, me?
Yep.
Yes, you!
Well, I wasn't snoring. Kawaii-chan sleeps in our room too.
When has yeah, but Kawaii-chan's basically like she'll sleep through anything. Remember Love of Paradise? She and Lucinda spent most of the whole day asleep.
Why isn't she half asleep like you?
I'm a Mayflaw. We can sleep through anything.
Oh,
There's also that.
lucky! Werewolves are always sensitive to sound, so
Are you
everything.
sure about
No,
that?
you're not. No, you're not. You can't hear a conversation happening right behind you. Don't pretend, Blaze.
Wakes us up.
Especially alarms. Those are the worst.
That's what they're meant to do, Maria.
Tell
Anyway.
me about it.
Mayflower are known to ignore any nonsense when it comes to our ears.
Then why are you dating him?
Hey!
Aha.
Don't laugh!
What? It was a funny joke.
Whatever. So why are we here again?
Because we're going to go to
Wonderland!
Righto Mundo, cutie!
Yeah, it's right Mundo. My word.
I
I'd like
actually
how
thought-
Afro just like appeared and blocked her in the shots. That's a good camera trick.
Wait, what?
Sorry, Ghost, you gotta say something.
I gotta say, I love Mundo. You know,
Yeah.
it's slid into my everyday dialect, just like cool beans.
Yeah, I never.
That
I-
wasn't a part of my dictionary before, and then it just appeared.
yeah, that happens sometimes.
What? Am I half asleep, or isn't that
I'm pretty sure I picked up a lot of internet slang in the past like 4 years that I never used before in my life.
where we...
Yep.
Nope. We're at the Starlight Park. Starlight Wonderland is the heart of Starlight and the
You know, this is the thing. When I first watched this, I was actually really annoyed at this line because the thing is, we've built up the fact that Aaron was going to propose to Aphmau and that, going to take her to Starlight Wonderland to make that the ideal place. So that was almost a year ago at this point. That was the holiday special. Well, after the holiday special. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was January. We're now in September. Imagine someone watching this all the way through and then getting to this point and thinking like, oh, all of that build up and all the trial and tribulation that came from Emerald's Secret, all of that hardship, just to be told we're not even in the place that was the entire aim to actually be in. So then, of course, I was like, well, okay, fine. Starlight Wonderland is going to be more built up in this season called Starlight. Great. Well, I suppose we'll get to it when we get to it.
No, it's
So then season
okay.
6 happens.
Jacob, at least it isn't Lion Gate, where for some reason, midway through to episode 12, we leave Lion Gate.
Oh, and it's still called Lion Gate.
It's still called Lion Gate.
At that point, just make a separate season. I mean, why not? If that's what the concern was. I mean, again, not that they should have been another resort in the first place, but if they are, then do something with it. I have no idea. Anyway, point is, it was disappointing in the past and disappointing in the future as well. Or what was the future, which is now also the past, and the present is not helping things.
Present is not
best
helping.
part of
Mhm.
it too. We haven't even seen this whole place.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, I found out later on, years later, the reason for that in the CinemaSins video was because they were still building the park when the season was happening, and they never got around to building the actual Starlight Wonderland, which is why they never actually get to see it in this in this season. So they were going to show it, and they were going to have Aaron take Aphmau there, I suppose, and not the top of a random mountain while she's in pain. In hindsight, I guess if it's production the mistake, it makes up for the stupidity of Aaron taking particularly that. Anyway, I guess that's something. I'm a little
It's
less annoyed than I was
fine.
back then.
Fine.
Yeah.
For some people, it takes years to see the whole park.
Is the park
Well, it's been taken 5 and we're still here.
really that big?
I'm surprised. I feel like we've done so much already.
This is the
Took
best
some people
part.
years to view all of that now.
You better save some of that excitement for me, okay?
So cute!
So Fish is like about to explode out of his arms.
Okay then! Now that you're all here, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. We'll be leaving first thing in the morning. Those of you who brought your suitcases now are in luck because you don't have much to worry about. For now, just make sure you have your tickets so when we board in the morning, the captain can see them. Remember, you can't walk around or go to any parks without a ticket.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know that all right.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Kawaii-chan?
Alright then. I'll let you guys get packed up and ready to go for tomorrow. I gotta go let Dad know about the plans.
Yeah, there's some other plans that Derek needs to hear about that he hasn't heard about yet. Just saying. Someone get on that.
There's a lot of things that Derek needs to hear about.
This is so
including
exciting.
him, dying in the next season.
I was more referring to his son's engagement, but that too.
Tell me about it. Hey, we should do something super special tonight.
Like what?
I don't know, like...
Go out to eat. One big giant dinner.
Yeah, that!
I am absolutely down for that.
Yeah! Best way to say goodbye to this place.
I'm in!
Me too!
Yeah, that.
For God's
Can we
sake,
pick the
just let
place?
Zane
I know
take a
this place
nap.
that I really want to try.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you mean
he had to deal with Garv snoring for this one night only. And yes, food.
Yup.
Go for it.
Awesome! Let me call and see if we can get in. Just meet us out by the docks later. I'll let you guys know a time.
Deal.
let's go.
Wait, you want to meet out by the docks later, but you don't want to say a time. You want to say meet out in a place. Establish a time. Don't there need to have a time to meet at the place to establish the time? Is that not how that? Okay, Just send it-
Andromeda and shit.
just send a text. Oh, the Liongate AU MyStreet group should have learned by now never to take a vacation or long detours from their neighborhood. Yeah, we said that when I think I watched the first episode like off camera, and I said the exact same thing. Because even they come from their street only to find horror behind it. Well, then again, the last street did blow up. So, wait, actually, no, it blew up because they left it. So yeah, they should stay home. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they should just stay home.
Hmm. You know something? We could have had a very good My Street quarantine season or something like that. I just imagine the My Street characters like cooped up in their houses or something. We get to see one episode for each of them or something like that, or maybe like an A plot B plot scenario of what's going on with them, and then just them all slowly losing their minds and being driven to insanity because they're all such like caricatures at this point that they need external time from each other to actually get away from the madness.
Yeah,
I
but I like how Zane is just asleep again.
Yes. So see, for example, Zane being stuck in a house with Gareth and Lawrence, imagine what would happen to him then.
It's confirmed that Zane is one of the only MyStreet characters who had a job at the series beginning.
Saying that quarantine he was already prepared for that. I think, yeah, maybe.
Like, think
guess
about it.
he's
Zane is MyStreet's, one of MyStreet's only introverts.
Dad!
And introverts fared well during quarantine.
Yeah, I think Afmaus are also, Afmau and Aaron are also are introverts. They'd be mostly fine together. I think, honestly, without all the business stuff hanging over them. Actually, they spend most of their time in this season alone in a room, so they're fine. They're
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I understand. It's all just hearsay. A rumor. No, I'm not a werewolf. Much less one of those mythical Ultimas. That's a fairy tale. I don't know where these rumors came from, but I can assure you this is slander.
I do love the fact that in this world, like, somehow... this reminds me of, like, the rumor a while ago that Mark Zuckerberg was a robot? Thing that no one took seriously. but Derek Lycan, being like a mythical, like first bloodless werewolf bloodline or something, that they take seriously. Of course, we know it's true, but I mean, in universe, why is it like a huge deal? I don't know. Why is it being taken so seriously?
Plot.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see I want to see the Guardian forces investigate Zuckerberg for cybernetic enhancements. Then I'll believe it.
For now, I need you to run the company in my stead. I'm going to contact my lawyers and get to the bottom of this.
That's a good question. Who is he talking to right now? Who is the one running the company instead? We have to find out, I don't think.
No,
Yes,
we don't
I
have
know.
to find out.
This will be my last call if I can help it. I'm afraid of someone tapping the phones. Yes. Bye.
Dad?
Oh, Melissa!
Dad, what was that about?
Were you eavesdropping?
I had no intention to. I was just looking for you when I heard you talking about...
Because now werewolves can hear stuff in front of them, because we established that in this episode.
Rumors? What's going on?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Dad?
Okay, so she heard a little bit about rumors, but not the rest of the conversation where he mentions the Ultima thing, that she was already in position to hear it. Why is it even after the werewolves are canonically confirmed to hear everything, they're still just deaf? Why?
Because
anyway.
Plot.
I think they fear the Ultima so much the dying part for the humans. The Ultima hasn't been seen for centuries, I believe. Oh, wait, no. There was that Ultima attack. Maybe that was reported on. As if it was reported on, they know the family. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter.
You mentioned Ultima while on the phone. You do not use that word if you can avoid it. What's going on?
It's none of your concern.
It has to do with our family. Of course it's my concern.
I am your father.
Yeah. Why is... you know what? Maybe... You know how I said before that that Melissa being shafted as from the position of like taking over the company in favor of Aaron made zero sense in season 3. I'm thinking maybe now the reason might have been because since Aaron inevitably has the Ultima curse, he's not going to be able to get away from it. But Melissa, there's a possibility that she could, so maybe being associated with the Lycans beyond what she's already does might be worse. But then Melissa has the undying loyalty of her family anyway, so I guess that might have been a conflict that never got brought up. I don't know.
Plot.
Just yeah, it kind of reminds me of like how in Order of the Phoenix, Dumbledore doesn't give Harry the position of prefect because he feared he already had too much responsibility on his hands. But he was probably right in that situation, I reckon. But in that same regard, if Derek is the Dumbledore in this situation, giving more responsibility to Aaron, who is already dealing with the rest of whatever is going on, also doesn't make any sense. I mean, trust Derek to do like one decision, the one decision that seems like somewhat considerate, only to inevitably end up being stupid again. There you go.
That's
I
because
guess
Derek takes the top position as MyStreet's worst parent.
Oh yeah, no question. I'm just wondering. I want to get in like his mind and see like where everything went wrong.
Father, and I am the one who should be concerned with.
You've been saying that forever, Dad! Aaron and I aren't kids anymore. I've seen the books before, Dad.
What?
That's right. I had looked through our personal finances, our history, and I found out we weren't always well off. You and Mom came into a lot of money when Aaron and I were very little. We were too young to remember, but the change is drastic. Is that what you were talking about on the phone?
Princess, please.
Dad, you can trust me. I just want to know if there's anything I can do to help.
Hold a second. Maya's saying here lies. That's Michael. What you mean for worst parent? Well, I guess Michael technically counts as a parent because he was Diaries Travis's father, but I don't really consider that in this situation. And,
There's a lot of contestants for worst father.
Well, I mean, I mean, the worst parents, you know, first is Derek, then is Sylvana, then everyone else can duke it out. Except for Terry and Ziana. They're like at the bottom of the worst list because they're the best. Anyway, all right.
Please.
Melissa. Fine. I guess it's time you knew, but you need to give me the respect and promise not to tell Aaron.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I've got it now. Derek didn't want Melissa to take over the company because then Melissa would find out about the river potion stuff. But I guess for Aaron, it was like the last resort of him being part of the family.
What?
Even when I try and say like, "Oh, I've now figured it out," suddenly it still makes no sense.
It still doesn't make sense. I'm racking it around in the brain, like, excuse me?
I'm trying. I'm trying. Anyway.
I know
He's
you're
been through so
trying,
much that
but
right
you
now
don't
he
have
doesn't
much
need.
material to work with.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I know that Garte's dumb. I wouldn't. Yeah, Garte at max would get number 3 position because of like the whole. Oh yeah, this concerns the Lycans. You know, forget your friends. We'll let them die. We'll just leave the island somehow, even though it's all protected. There's no clue we could do that. So yeah, I don't know. And he's also, I don't know, maybe he's like somewhat absent as well, depending on his business stuff. And that's it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and also doesn't want to wants to have things like Garth is the most qualified to take over, even though Zane clearly in this situation, unlike in Diaries where it was Garth who's more qualified, just didn't want to take up the position. This time it would have been yeah. So you know what, Garth is number 3, but that mostly comes down to the fact that he's mostly just naive. Derek, you know, is in a position where he seems to think he knows exactly what he's doing and knows what's best, even though everyone is telling him otherwise. He's just like, no. It must be the way that I do things because this gets results, even though the results speak for themselves. You know,
You're abusing your own son, but you don't even realize because you dumb man.
Yeah, because no one, there's no one to actually like get him to react anyway. And then Garth because he's dumb, non-intelligent. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, Garth number 4, Elizabeth. Well, Garth number 5, actually, because Elizabeth and Zach were somewhere in between those. I'd say Elizabeth first and then Zach. All right, we'll get the chart. So Derek, Sylvana, Elizabeth, Zach, Garte. Who else have we got?
Why is this list so long?
I don't know.
Why does everyone on MyStreet have terrible parents?
I know. There's 5. There's like the main 5. Like who? Like I know you've got Terry and Ziana now. Ziana from the beginning, Terry from just recently. I know. There's also, I guess, Maria, Dante and Jean's mum, who appears once in Phoenix Job High season 1. I don't know. And yeah, Max to the side of Terry. I don't think. Yeah, I know. I only said he was a bad friend because he was Diaries Travis's father. Well, he's been around Terry for a long time. I had to pretend. Imagine if he had pretend to be a father to Travis. He could land as the worst Minecraft for that for sure. For sure, he's the worst in Minecraft. Yeah, got it. Okay.
This kind of stress.
I promise. I won't say a word to him. As long as you promise me you won't leave him in the dark forever, like you did when he was young.
I promise. Let's sit down.
That is a promise he is
This is going to be
break.
a lot to take in.
Yeah, well, he dies first, so, we'll give him a break.
No, that's not how that works.
He didn't know he
Melissa,
was gonna die.
back on the mainland, the papers have picked up on the story that the Lycan family, our family, are the successors to the Ultima Werewolf.
No.
I'm pretty sure that was, obvious from context clues, but okay.
Can't be.
It's true.
Oh, wow.
There's no
I
way.
wonder if your last
did that
name being Lycan had any significance.
Then, how did they find out? How do you know?
Apparently, the tip came from an anonymous person, but agents I hired say she was a Mayfwa female that was at the lodge with everyone during the incident a year ago.
How did you find this?
I do like the fact that, again, retroactively, the fact that it isn't Xavier to expose the truth, that's going to be a kick in the teeth for him.
Out.
A man named Zach told me.
Zach? Who is...
What I'm about to tell you, Melissa, happened years ago. And this is the reason behind our financial success. One I can't say I'm particularly proud of.
Go on.
Years ago, I was friends with a man named Michael. Michael was a charming man, very witty, very cunning.
He also wore his purple robe in casual conversation.
Though at the time, you couldn't tell that. Michael was very
Okay.
obsessed with witchcraft potions. You name it. Anything that had to do with things of that sort. At first, it seemed like an innocent enough hobby. Witches and warlocks exist, and they make the world a better place if their power is used for the greater good. And Michael had the same ambitions. Garte and I were good friends.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know, everyone's saying like, oh, suddenly magic happened in MyStreet. It wasn't there to begin with, even though obviously, yes.
We've been that way since college. After speaking with Michael, we met two other people, Zach and Elizabeth. After a time,
I love how Elizabeth just looks like Caitlin here. Like, there's no difference. Oh, and actually, Zach kind of looks like Ian. Oh, but don't worry, it was a red herring the whole time.
Oh, don't
No,
worry,
well-
they're not actually related. Even though all of the context clues give us all of the information that they are indeed actually related.
Mm-hmm. No, they just happen to dye their hair the same way. You know?
You know, like you do. It's one of those parent-son father-son activities. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not related. There is no such thing as father and son.
No, it's like in you know in The Lion King 2, how like Kovu is chosen as Scar's successor, but is not actually related to him. Which, by the way, he was going to be in the movie, but Michael Eisner actually came in and said, "Wait, wouldn't that make the romantic lead the cousin of the main character?" So that was scrapped, which was good. So so yeah, we just ended up with like a successor story because shipping, which I guess is what we end up with here. I don't know. Ian might not be Zach's son, but he is his boy, according to Michael. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
no.
just gonna say this now. It was a stupid decision to come out and say that was a red herring. I know it wasn't a good look on Afmau's part to have it in the episode to begin with. I mean, if it was a mistake, it would have surely been caught by the creative pipeline.
It was also revealed in a random description on just an everyday video.
Yeah.
It's important lore detail. So I don't know. Maybe the other child was actually Afia the whole time. Oh wait, no, Afia was actually Sylvana's daughter as well. Whatever.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm just gonna say, not that incest is great, but storyline wise, it was a dumb decision. Why? Why?
I mean, here's the thing. If you wanted them to be siblings from the beginning, fine. Why then would you put them in a locker with each other, among several other instances? In fact, why would you, then encourage the Kai Mao and Ian Mao wars? I mean, I know that was, nice. At the time, it seemed like it was, a breath of fresh air. It's like, okay, you know what? These guys aren't going to last for a while. It's the time in between before we get back to Aaron and stuff. We know how it's going. It's harmless, essentially. Not harmless anymore.
Adopted kid who tried to hide his
It tried his darndest to seem like his real kid. Regardless of that, that would still make him his kid.
Yeah, regardless of that, Ian and Afma would still be half siblings, even though they don't share genetic DNA. It would still technically count as incest.
Yes. I mean, I was gonna say, yeah. I say
It
this all
would be
the
like
time.
if Jacob had a sister from his parents, and then he decided, "Oh boy, I think my sister looks hot today," and start stalking her for several years.
Yep. If anything, isn't that like a thing like the Shadowhunter series, or that? Oh no, what was it? It was called something else. Shadowhunter is the name of the show, but the books are called Mortal something. I can't remember. Anyway, point is that there's a sibling reveal that happens But there's two sibling reveals. There's one fake sibling reveal between like the main like Clary and Jace. It's like, oh wait a minute, they're actually siblings. I know we can't be together. There's like a whole build up, and then it turns out later on it's like, psych, they're not siblings. It was actually this other person who also loves Clary. So that was the whole. So it was. I don't know. I only heard about this like secondhand. I haven't read the series. Anyway. Or okay, Aphmar's version of adopted, like picking up kids off of streets. Again, still makes them like her kids. You know, they all refer to her as mum. That's a thing that happens.
For some reason.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the idea of like her just like adopting abandoned babies. That's actually kind of funny, to be honest. Just like she made fun of that trope as well. Like it was like, oh look, a baby out of nowhere. All right, you're mine now.
She made fun of that trope, but she did it in Diaries.
I know she was making fun of herself because she made that into a trope of her own work. That's why she was like, why do I have the urge to adopt you for that random baby in the D&D series?
Yeah.
Yeah. He could have, after finished up high, after he got out of jail, he would have nowhere to go unless he has family who wants him. Wouldn't he also have had to have family to register him as a student at a school? Anyway. Let's see.
No. Kids in the adoption system go to public high school.
Okay. I mean, it's possible that he could have been adopted afterwards. That's
but even then, we have no evidence that's the case. You know, unless you look at Zach, look at Ian, and squint.
Yeah, look at this hair and squint as well. By the way, we missed our comments before about Eric actually being on the list. I wouldn't put him on the list of them either, and I wouldn't say that he's a bad parent either at all. Actually, I mean, he's a little bit cartoons and has its problematic sides, particularly when it comes to his Sugar P dating back in the day, you know, that kind of thing. Which to be honest, he probably got that from Sylvana as well. But also, I will say it evened out by the fact that Caitlyn has the same overreaction, aggressive tendencies towards him because he wants to go on a date one time and Kay just sets the house on fire. So, you know what? They even each other out. Might as well keep fighting Jeffrey.
Each other nicely.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, let's see. He made mention of his mum as well. Back to Ian, by the way. Made mention of his mum as well. So maybe he just hated his mom so much he made another person his role model. Regardless of that, Zach still has another child that was out there that ruptured his marriage. So, you know, that whole thing happens. So I don't know, regardless of, you know, if Ian was like, okay, you know what, I like this guy. He abandoned his filthy human family. And so I'm gonna now become I'm just like him. I don't know, something like that. I thought Zach
Why
was
does your impression of Ian sound like Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, I do get what you mean, yeah. If you ever see a filthy human become an alpha, that's no good.
That's no good.
Anyway, he probably could have left out his family after getting out. Left out his family out of where? He would have had to have a family to begin with to leave them out of anything at any time. The closest I can see is like, I don't know, Zach adopting him. But then again, he went into juvie like immediately after season 2. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yay! Another reaction. Haha! Yes, another reaction. Let's get back to it. We've been here for ages.
Garte, Michael, Zach, and Elizabeth and I got to know each other more and all became close friends.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day, Michael made a proposal. He knew Zach and Elizabeth were doctors, very good ones at that, top of their field. But not only that, they were good at knowing witchcraft and incorporating that into their treatments. Garty and I were good at knowing how to sell things. We were good at knowing how to make something appealing. Michael was purely invested in witchcraft and knew things beyond anyone's comprehension. Realms, magics, sorcery, things I never even heard of.
Oh, hold on. Where are their eyes? It's a style. You're not gonna get that, but it's a thought.
Yeah, it's a stylistic thing. It's
Yeah.
meant to invoke a sense of intrigue and mystery.
Zach did juvie therapy. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, apparently Zach was a doctor, so maybe he was like the medical officer in the prison. I don't know.
One day, Michael proposed to us an idea. What if we could save the world? What if we could help people who don't know what's good for them? Help them see the way of true happiness.
I was like, what if we could save the world? Ah, that's nice. What people don't know is good for them. Oh, there it is. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we're gonna cure some diseases or something, but no, we're not doing that. It's great.
No, we're just gonna make a bunch
At
of
that
people in
time, we
a
weren't sure what he meant by that,
world.
but it caught our attention. We all wanted to change the world for the better. We all wanted to make something that would benefit everyone. Or at least, I thought we all did. Michael, Zach, and Elizabeth started to work on a special kind of potion. A potion that would cure diseases, heal the incurable, and grant people incredible abilities.
Okay, so we are doing curing diseases. Okay.
Meanwhile, Garty and I used our business-savvy ways to get investors to sponsor the project. Investors.
Oh, Aiden's saying let me in. Okay, hold on. We'll do that. Gotta change the world with some potions. Eternally. Eternally.
For
Anyway.
how fucking Ian.
Lemonade mouth. Blast from the past. Anyway.
This is like Ian is not Zach's child.
Okay,
but
I
here's
am
what Ian
back.
thinks.
I had to turn on
Okay.
the light.
You and me can get my son out of this juvie. Gotta change the world with
Okay,
some
wait. I have a thing against the art right now. I have one problem with the art.
eyeless freaks.
Actually, no. I don't mind this art style. It's actually an art style, Jacob.
I know you don't. I'm teasing you.
Yeah,
What is
no.
this?
But Derek's hair is brown in this illustration.
Oh no, his hair changed over years. What a surprise.
No, but his hair is black. It's not like his hair is gray now. His hair is black.
I mean, I'm more concerned about the fact. Well, Zane's hair went from black to brown. He did the opposite.
When did it go brown?
Season 6.
It didn't go brown. That was a buzz cut in Gotcha in Minecraft. I mean, listen, we're not in Gotcha. No, he literally said it was a buzz cut and cut. Aphmos said it was a buzz cut, and it was gray. Even it was never brown.
I
You
assure you,
colorblind?
there was a time when it was brown for a brief period.
I don't remember it being brown, but you can point that out when it comes to the stream, I guess.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be season 6, so it might be a while, but okay.
Yeah.
All right,
And-
but
and
yeah,
goes
also,
to you,
I mean,
Zach.
we're more concerned about the fact that Zach's hair is reminiscent of Ian's, but you know.
Well, apparently, it's either I don't.
We had the whole 20-minute spiel about this whole topic, so yeah, I just wanted to point that out for you particularly. Anyway,
Also, I have so many issues with some of the writing here.
abilities I don't know who. I don't know who either.
Michael had suggested. After a while, some of these investors, they were questionable.
Although I don't get why
They would
Michael's
speak to
bald
Michael.
here, even though I guess they haven't designed Michael yet, but it's kind of weird illustrating him bald on these clips. But
I
then
don't know.
giving him hair.
Maybe he got an even shorter buzz cut. Just buzz the whole thing off.
About these potions.
That's not a buzz cut.
I
That's
should
shaving
have
it off.
questioned. Eventually.
Oh no! See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. He had a potion. His first trial was on himself. For a potion to combat male pattern baldness. There we go.
When the potions were done.
Well, you can
Michael
avoid that by
suggested-
using keeps.
Exactly.
Hello, it is
me, Michael, or the Demon Warlock. This video is sponsored by my new forever potion, Keeps.
YouTube just takes the stream down because they're like, wait, was that a real sponsorship you didn't disclose?
Dear Lord, no.
Did we try them on the children? Our children. I objected wholeheartedly, not only because of our lineage as the Ultima Werewolf, but because I didn't believe on using these potions on children. But that didn't stop Michael from convincing everyone else to do it.
I actually really like the art using for explanation here, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It adds more visuals than rather than just him head bobbing for like 10 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, none of that season 1 Fallen Angels baloney, you know. That potion looks like a Mountain Dew.
Well, yeah, you know what? Yes.
They did. Gareth. Caitlin. They had potions used on them. I know for a fact
I like
they
the
did.
art, Gareth.
How many?
Okay.
I like the illustration. He looks nice.
So Derek knows for a fact they had potions used on them, but didn't seem to ever like click that he knew them at all.
Look at
I'm not sure.
Well, actually, no, he knew Gareth. Okay, he didn't click about he knew Caitlin.
Zach's daughter, Aphmau.
Yeah, and he definitely didn't think that he knew Aphmau. Was like, oh, you must be Aphmau, Aaron's wife. Like, oh, really?
Maybe Aphmau is a common name. Okay, no, listen.
Exactly.
This part of the story clearly wasn't planned out from the beginning. Something I'm trying to avoid.
Most of MyStreet wasn't planned out from the beginning.
But like I'm purposely trying to avoid having massive story retcons and stuff like that with a future storyline Jacob knows briefly about at Fallen Angels.
Oh well, I would say that for like every storyline, it's best to try and avoid retcons if possible. I would imagine. I mean, if it turns out that you have a story that goes on for ages, which first of all, great if it does, but you can always refer back to the old stuff if you need a reminder of how things went down. Anyway, maybe he was just trying to keep it hidden that he knew them. Oh, why? There's no connection. The children wouldn't have any connection to the potion. They wouldn't know about the potions being a thing. I mean, I don't know. I thought he held one here for some reason, but other than that, she was too young to remember. Apparently,
I can't say for certain.
Well, apparently, memory erasing potions were involved during the experiments as well. Apparently, it was mentioned at other points in the story. So,
yeah, we did confirm that no potions were used on Aaron or Aphmau. So I don't know.
Michael.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Wait a minute. You know what? You've just pointed out something else, Maya. The parents would. And Sylvana was around a lot. Actually, I don't think Sylvana was around for a lot of this stuff.
I think it was like, I think it's either this was during their time pre their divorce, or it was maybe during visitation, maybe early on.
It was definitely pre their divorce because Zach had access to Aphmau, thus the confusion.
Yeah.
As to whether she had a potion on her or not. But regardless of that, Zach already had a secret family. He could very easily have a secret line of business. So I don't think Sylvana knew anything about that at all. She didn't even seem to know who the Lycans were. Okay, I'm not gonna put that comment on screen. Something just appeared. No one click that link, please.
Oh wait, yeah. Don't
I think he had a son, but I honestly don't remember. I should have spoken
that
up.
silhouette looks very familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do we think that Zach had a son?
I should have said something and stopped them from doing that to those children. But I didn't, and I let it happen. Once the children had shown promise that the potions worked, the day finally came to sell the potions. We did, and the people who bought them, they wanted to do horrible things. They were nothing but thugs with big bank accounts.
Did they disclose what they wanted to do with the potions? Did anyone ask that? Not a usual thing to do when you're buying and selling things.
And I should have seen that. But
okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so pre-divorce because Zach left out. We can use the potion. Yeah, true from that trailer. Yeah.
Michael was obsessed with something else, something far more valuable than selling these potions. He was interested in some stone.
Stone?
I don't know why. I wish I gave him time to find out.
Was that a reference to the relic, I'm guessing?
I think it's the Realm Breaker, but it could be a relic.
Okay. Garte and Michael got into a fight because more potions were being sold, and people had started.
I don't know his name, but it rhymes with Bian, and he's dumb. And also, he's voiced by me, Chris Escalante.
Oh yeah, I forgot Chris
dying by
voiced
them.
Derek.
Yeah, people always forget that.
Michael, Zach, and Elizabeth attempted to execute Garte.
Two hateable characters,
Michael used
and one
something.
was kind of unintentional. I think Derek was very complicated. Because like
Exactly.
I think Aphmau at a certain point wanted you to like Derek around the time of season 5 and onwards. I think.
But this is pre Falcon Claw. Most of the worst stuff Derek does are introduced.
Yeah, but no, it was still stated terrible stuff he did during season 4 of MyStreet. So it was already stated that he did horrible stuff.
Also, why is he always in a purple cloak? Why not put him in, like, I don't know, a Hawaiian shirt and khakis? It would make just about as much sense.
Well, he was wearing a suit in season 6, and then
I
when
feel
he
like
became
a Hawaiian shirt would make a connection to Terry there. So
it'd be too obvious.
Yeah.
And opened a gate.
I know,
He
but it
called
would
it
make
his
just
realm.
about as much sense as leaving him in his creepy purple robe.
Did somebody say gate?
However, we turned the tables and they fell into their own trap.
Oh, wait,
After
turning the
that-
tables and pushing someone into a gate? Who would have done that in their story? I forgot. I must have got inspired or something. Like, I got the idea, I guess. I don't know.
And Empty Penguin, it was a joke because it wasn't me who voiced it. It's the fact that Chris Escalante voices both Derek and Ian in MyStreet.
So wait, Jacob, you voiced in an Aphmau roleplay? Oh my god, I'm so impressed.
I wish.
Garte and I took the money, shut down the business, and poured out whatever remained
Yeah,
of the
that's kind
forever
of immoral,
potions.
though. You stole
all the work,
all that money. You kind of.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
this is why Melissa checked in their financial status and found that was like, oh my, there's a lot here to talk about.
Everything.
Like, Jesus.
We burned to the ground. We vowed never to speak of this. We went
Well,
on
now
our
we're
separate
speaking
ways
of it.
and started our own companies.
Which we then later joined in a partnership because we then decided, oh wait a minute, starting our own companies was stupid. We all work together anyway.
Companies centered around the ideas of bringing joy to everyone. That's how we came into our fortune.
Dad, this is Aphmau, Gareth, Caitlin. You have to be kidding me. Why did I need to know this?
Because you asked him about it. You literally went, Dad, no more secrets. We're not kids anymore. Tell me everything. Why do I need to know this?
We are in danger, Melissa. Those three, who we thought were gone, are back. And they're here on Starlight.
Sound effect.
I'm telling you this because if something happens to me or your mother, someone needs to know.
Oh, if something happened to you, I would say, ooh, only if you got turned into a relic and apparently the mom died off screen. I wish we saw her death. Like, I'm so upset that we never get saw the mother's death at all. Like, that never was a scene, and it's such a missed opportunity because we just heard about it off camera. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, not Melissa Lycan. Oh crap.
Rachel. See, here's the thing.
Rachel Lycan was shot. Like, what?
I was actually going to do a theory about this at the time, but I always thought that broadcast was a fake.
Oh, I thought it was too, actually, from the way it made it actually sound in episode 8, part 1. Like,
yeah, remember the whole thing was
like Michael was like,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but
oh, look, there we go. Yeah.
Guys, there is a thing. It is a big white trope that's commonly used. It's when you kill off a character, if their body is not seen by the audience, then you have no reason to assume they're actually dead.
Yeah, that's a sitcom trope. Yeah, because they can bring back the character if they're beloved enough. Yeah, of course. But then again, also most shows and comedy
twice.
Yeah. See, that's why I was annoyed. That's why I was annoyed that when Melissa came back, because it was like, first of all, yeah, great. You you didn't do you did that and you pulled it and as like the first like it was also the first big like actual character who could have like been perma-dead because obviously Aphra and Aaron had died before, you know. Well, no, Aphra died later, Aphra died before. It's like, oh well, Deus Ex Machina, he's gonna come back. Melissa didn't have that excuse. So it was like, okay, first shocking reveal there that someone might be gone forever.
Okay.
Great. And they try the same stunt with Blaze, and he actually is gone forever, but we've already had the shock of Melissa, so it's not the same.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead.
Okay, so and Maya, about the whole Rachel Lycan's death was faked. It was. I don't think it was confirmed not fake, just because during the dream sequence, during what episode? It was like episode 14, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that was meant to be the spirit talking to Aaron, and not to mention there was also the one scene during episode 9 where Aaron went on his rampage, where we actually got these screenshots of all his family supposedly dying, or when they got.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about that. But here's the thing about that. First of all, Melissa was in that sequence, and we saw that happen. Secondly, we saw Rachel like kneel down, about to be fired at, but never actually saw any shots fired.
Yeah, but
so I don't know. I think
it is possible meant to be dead.
It's possible that's the spirit, or that could have just been like a projection of Aaron's mind trying to get him through it. Like this is Mind Palace, like in Sherlock. You know, we see Mycroft in his head all the time in that series, but you know, not necessarily the actual person. It's just because he has such a good character profile on him. Anyway,
I mean, I was kind of hoping Rachel is still alive, but I'm pretty sure she's meant to be dead, narratively speaking.
I'm literally gonna cry. I'm on a random floor in a building on my campus. Well, we're not saying anyone's dead.
I am. I'm saying Rachel is dead.
Use that information carefully. Don't let your guard down.
What about...
Just keep your head about you, Melissa.
Dad! Melissa!
Please, just wait to tell him.
Oh, wow.
This is the episode where we got told that werewolves can hear everything. Oh, but wait, if you speak quietly, he won't know. Come on. Come on. If that was the case, wouldn't she make an appearance last episode, season 6? Season 7 that may never been seen? I know she could have still been recovering. I'm not sure.
No, but well, Melissa survived like 25 gunshots in her, and she recovered for like what, a week? 2 weeks?
I think
it
Max
didn't
might
take
have got
her that long.
Max might have got like 3 in her because most of those bullets were like on the wall side. They didn't really go anywhere near her.
You know what? No, I'm gonna pull up a clip where we actually, I swear we see her body at one point where she has a bunch of holes in her.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, that's true. We do see her body. I don't remember if that. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure we saw a bunch of holes in her. So I'm pretty sure she got supposedly shot a few times at least.
That's weird because the sound effects. That's weird as well, actually, because the sound effect made it seem like it was actually quite quick. So I don't know. Who knows? There might be an inconsistency in this Minecraft series that we're picking up on right now.
Yeah.
Aaron never saw Rachel death. He had to imagine it based on the broadcast description of the incident, which is weird because then, if he didn't see the footage alongside it, does that also mean the footage that was edited and broadcast was like something different? I don't know. I mean, it was a bit of a gamble whether or not it was a bit about whether or not Michael even managed to get it to be seen by Aaron because they were on the run, so he wouldn't have known when Aaron would be near a TV. So it was always a weird plan. But then again, you know what I say people planning things in MyStreet.
But yeah, but if they really wanted Rachel to be alive, though, like Aphra would have brought Rachel back for the finale of season 6. Yeah, I mean, like narratively speaking, it would have made the most sense bringing her back, like her and Aaron seeing Aaron. You know,
under normal circumstances, I would say that's correct. But this is Aphra we're talking about. What makes the most narrative sense does not necessarily always equate to what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, are you and Mom free tonight?
Yes, we are.
Something up?
A few of us decided to have a big dinner to celebrate the last night we're going to be at the resort. And I was wondering if you guys and Mom wanted to come.
Yeah.
You want to know what's playing over and over again in my head? A llama! He's supposed to be dead!
I don't know what that is.
It's a meme.
Okay.
I'm totally down for it.
You know what? That actually sounds nice. I'm in.
And Mom?
She's got nothing better to do. Besides, we'd love to have dinner with you guys.
Yes! Oh, I mean, that's great. We're meeting up at the lake. You know, the one in the middle of the resort. Blaze and Maria got reservations to some fancy restaurant.
We'll be there.
There's another fancy restaurant nearby. I thought the island didn't have another fancy restaurant because like the one fancy restaurant that was there was like werewolf-phobic or whatever species. Like they never mentioned this restaurant. Like this restaurant kind of feels like it came out of nowhere because like again this restaurant never was mentioned. Like if this restaurant's so nearby, why didn't Kawaii-chan and Zane go there for their date? You know, because because when they were talking about date plans and stuff like that.
Maybe they went to the other place, the werewolf-phobic one. They were so busy with the fair and stuff. I don't know. And
I highly doubt Aaron would want to go there after what happened.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm saying Zane and Kawaii-chan would have thought that. They weren't there for that scene.
No, Zane and Kawaii-chan didn't go to that restaurant because it was the only fancy restaurant around, and it was bigoted.
What did they say?
They're
Maybe they went to a place that was more casual. Maybe that was
No, they went to the theme park. This was in the episode where they're planning their date.
Okay, so you're asking in that case why they didn't go to a fancy restaurant?
No, because they were talking about
instead.
because they were talking about like date ideas and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, what about this restaurant? Oh no, that restaurant, and they were like talking about what to do, and they didn't suggest maybe the other fancy restaurant nearby, which we're just finding out exists now. Which
it is possible as well that they didn't know about that one existing and Blaze did, because obviously, you know, the werewolves were busy exploring the island and figuring out everywhere they could eat. Basically.
Maybe, but I'm still calling it a plot hole. Like, I still think it's a genuine plot hole, and Akmal just wasn't thinking about it, you know?
Wait a minute! I just realized something. We forgot to sing the retcon song for all the Forever Potions malarkey that went on before.
Oh yeah, retcons.
Retcons. Retcons, they're bad for me and you. Retcons, retcons. Next time, think your story through. All right. This one is like, I would do the plot hole song, but I'm not sure if it is a plot hole or not. So we're just like plot holes. There we go. That's the song.
Questionable.
Awesome!
Idea.
We just need the perfect moment. Then you tell them.
We tell them.
At the same time.
That could be very disorganized if this wasn't a voice acting series, you know? Because like in real life it would be, we're engaged, and the other person would be like, oh, I didn't say that in time. And then it's like, oopsies.
That would be funny though.
Let's let him have his peace for as long as we can.
I agree.
I'll give it like 3 more episodes. Then the world ends practically.
A couple more minutes, given what scene we're in.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
this is exciting. Are the pup trio coming?
They said they might be late, but if they...
And I thought they're still the pup trio. They're only like younger than you, but like a year. You're not in high school anymore. That's amazing.
They are. I ain't waiting for them. This is gonna be some top quality food, so they better hurry up.
Agreed.
Oh, sorry we're late.
Not late, bro. We're just getting together.
Is this the episode where Garth gets woofified?
Pretty sure.
No, that's next episode. This episode, Aaron gets his eyes red.
Ah, damn! I want to see Garth in pain.
Why? What did Gareth do to you? Jesus, who hurt you? Who hurt you, Gareth?
Yeah,
Are you
apparently.
a dwarf? Did he
Is
break
he
you?
still half asleep?
I mean, maybe Ghost is not over the fact that Oh wait, no. I was about to say about the make up with Kawaii-chan, but that was Kawaii-chan's fault mostly.
Yeah, he tried to take a nap, but he wasn't able to.
I'm awake!
You know, I bought you earplugs.
I forgot where I put them. They weren't where I normally
he had Ulrich's solution to the problem.
keep them.
Solution.
Really? Meefwa aren't cats. Remember that, everyone.
And werewolves aren't dogs,
No
but yet
idea
they
where
love
they
frisbee.
went.
Listen, Aphma's very inconsistent with her logic.
Yeah. Werewolves aren't dogs. Catch the ball, you want the ball, get the ball, right, and fetch.
We're here.
Remember, everybody,
Awesome.
the Meat and Werewolves is supposed to be thinly veiled racial allegories, so let's have them react like the animals they're supposed to be.
Thinly veiled. Yeah, so thin the moths have eaten half the veil.
I think we're gonna wait a bit before we head out. Give a few peeps some time to show up. But not too long.
Yeah, dinner awaits.
Aphmau, I must say your outfit is adorable.
Yes, I'm so glad you got my outfit. The last 3 episodes it's been worn. Anyway.
I'm so glad you didn't notice my outfit until standing right in front of me.
To be fair, I don't think they interacted, did they?
I missed the first couple. Yeah, no, I'm just saying that because that was my joke about the 3 episodes since it's been here, because we've had 30 episodes in one outfit and 5 in another. It seems somewhat redundant once it gets to that stage.
Yeah, kind of weird. Weird outfit choice change, but okay.
I mean, if they change clothes all the time, then of course, but you know. Anyway.
Making that many skins would be annoying, especially unique looking skins each time. Like I mean, granted,
that
I
just raised the question though, Aiden. Why then do the changes at all in the middle of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I would have had her change clothes after the werewolf transformation, because maybe the change in outfit could be like symbolic of her new
Actually, that was when it
form.
happened. That was when it happened, actually.
No? Well, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was just framed in a weird way. If you didn't know Aphmau was a werewolf, they just went shopping for reasons unknown, possibly to bump into Kai and have him shit talk Aphmau so that ship can die.
Yeah, great.
Cool.
It's amazing.
It had to be the clothes store, you see. That scene essentially had to be at a clothes store specifically. Otherwise it would have fallen on its face, even though it was already terrible. Anyway, I missed the first couple minutes, but I wonder if Gara slept outside. I bet everyone can still hear him snoring. Yeah, they're like there's like no walls to muffle the sound, so then it just echoes throughout the entire place. Yeah.
Thanks. Aaron helped me pick it out.
Let me see. Ooh, the fabric is on point too.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
I do like the fact that Sylvana tries to use modern slang and falls on it, and every time she always is falls flat on her face, versus Rachel, who just says it on point super casually and gets away with it. Again,
well,
they're
the
good contrast
difference between them would probably be the fact that Sylvana tries too hard versus Rachel just kind of lets it flow.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why all those people who are trying to be hip with the kids or whatever, you know, they always fail because they're like, hey kids, what about those TikToks? Am I right?
Snuggly.
If only I had sleep that was snuggly.
Aww,
okay,
you
Zane,
need my
we
help
get
to
it.
sleep tonight?
No!
Oh, that sounds romantic.
Shut up!
Are you two dating?
Ah, yes. They totally aren't dating. That's totally not something they're doing.
Oh my word. I was about to sing a song and then that happened. Okay.
Look at Aaron's squinty face.
In the starlight, the mighty starlight, the emo sleeps tonight. Anyway, all right, Levi drink for Rachel. We're not going to get anything else out of this episode for Levi drink. It's all too chaotic.
Are you sure you don't want to have the moment be your You should have had the other moment that was coming up be your Levi drink.
Yeah, no, that's not a Levi drink. That's just a contrivance.
Oh no, Ian coming back is a contrivance. It's
I'm
great,
not
though.
drinking to this. And no, it's not a Loin King parody or a Lion King parody. I know they sang that song in the remake of the Lion King, but that wasn't from their. Oh, look, you said it yourself. Yeah, that's not owned by them. It's like a popular song. They just scotch taped on there for some reason. You just happen to squint across. Yep, there he is. Just squint across and then see him. If he hadn't looked and squinted in that particular direction, none of this would have happened.
Oh, so why doesn't Ian get an HD skin?
But a better question would be, why does he like slowly like turn around? He doesn't know that Aaron's looking at him from all the way over there. Why does he just turn around and be like, "Hello, everyone. I'm Ian. Did you miss me?" And smiles. How does he know? How is it that no one has any peripheral vision or hearing in this series, and Ian can sense someone from a distance? Not even like one of the 5 senses, like the 6th sense. For crying out loud!
People can feel ease.
I don't know who that is. Who is you?
I think that's meant to say eyes.
Like, maybe other people can, but I can't. So, for me, this comes out of a left field and feels awkward.
I mean, the sensation of being watched is a real thing, but it's not a documented thing. For a reason.
Great. I actually like the music in this scene. That was really good. Drama.
Okay.
And now remember, buy merch. Buy the merch that doesn't exist
Buy
anymore.
our merch. Buy our merch.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
What the hell was this episode?
The green and red polarity. Oh, I see what you mean about the red versus. Yeah, fair enough. I think that's that. Is that the second time we've seen? Wait, no, we've seen it with green eyes a lot. Anyway, so yeah, good lord, this one. So, in terms of the Aphmau 3 passes, yeah, I think we're back to the original style here, where most of it, you know, again, is setting up for the next part, right down to there being a cliffhanger, and then, you know, the stuff that comes before it is good it's good information once they all remember why they're giving it, which is weird. They forgot that in the same scene it happened in.
Yeah, this episode is just super retconny. Also, it further enhances the relationship between Zach and Ian, which apparently is retcon now because everyone found it creepy that Aphmau had an incest plotline.
Which, you know, it is creepy. Makes sense that they would. Yeah, okay. I think it's weird because like once you get to like the middle portions of this series in general, you get some situations where it's like it's both retconning something that happened before, and then it itself also gets retconned later. Like we have more concrete details that don't necessarily match up in season 6, elaborating on what has been said here, which in turn contradicts what has been said way before. So, you know,
these are episodes that exist.
Exactly.
Yep. We sure are set up, which doesn't make much sense, but
I mean, at least watching this, it does a decent job of setting up several ideas in season 6, I guess.
I mean, there is that. I'm pretty sure some of the details are like slightly off, but then again, I wouldn't expect it to be any other way in this case. Also, Han has an ability to see very far. I mean, yes, that's great, but he had to be looking and squinting in that direction for long enough to notice Ian, or just like be staring around at that particular moment.
It's been a thing up until this
by the way,
point.
the cliffhanger apparently worked because we're getting close to watch the next episode, and yet no, we can't do that. No, that's not how it works.
It's not 5 years old yet.
Exactly. We need to. We only watch 5 years old quality on this content on this Twitch, at least so far. Except for we watched your Harvey video from today just before this. By the way, I might like split that up later.
Oh, what do you think?
I mean, I regret not like sending in like takes of Mrs. Dysart so it could be like the opposite. I didn't realize there was like that. There was like only a few lines of it.
I mean, it was a
kinda thought
relatively
that maybe
short
it'd be like-
scene.
Hmm?
It was a relatively short scene.
Yeah. So it turns out. But either way, still interesting. I mean, yeah, we can keep asking and we can keep declining, I suppose. Whatever. However, the next episode I did check beforehand. In fact, I checked to see but if graduation days for some reason overlapped a little bit. I don't think it does.
No, not at all. Like,
yeah.
graduation day starts after Starlight.
Brilliant. So in that case, we will see you back. Well, either way, the next video was always going to be the next episode. So we get the second part, which in traditional Aftermath 2 for Aftermath 3-parter lineup happens to be the one that that not many that not much that they're not as much significant actually happens because the conclusion is later and it's just like, oh, still carrying on a little bit more of the setup. But I don't think that is the case anymore. From what I remember from the next one, yeah, that's when everything just starts going down.
I mean,
the end game of Aftermath.
We shall see.
I'm gonna be honest though. Looking at this finale, like I still think his finale is pretty weak for Aftermath finale wise. Like,
well, it's gonna be 3-parter, so perhaps the other parts will change your mind.
Maybe, but from what I remember, I always thought this finale was kind of weak. It kind of just felt like they needed a conclusion, so they just came up with a conclusion.
They came up with Aaron squinting at somebody and then ear and then eyes.
Yeah, like they just pulled a conclusion out of thin air. It's like, we need something for drama. Do this, and then bam, we got this.
I will say one more thing that that Aaron, when his eyes turned, he was actually like right near Zane, but he was near the eye that always got covered up. So Zane having one eye actually saved him.
Wait, what if Zane became a werewolf instead of Gareth? Zane could have died.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's like a what if Zane never got hit in the eye with a snowball and how different he would be. I don't know. Anyways, we've there's another thing. So Pretty Place sent me a thing in DMs. I legit pulled up episode 9 of season 6 to find visual proof if there were bullet holes in the walls. This ad pops up. It reminds me of a creepy version of Michael if he had eyes. Well, I mean, the eyes are the same color as the ultimate eyes, so I don't know. We'll just put the ad up. Also, what did you find about like the bullet holes? What was the verdict on that? You never really said.
Oh, I need to look.
Not you, Aiden. I was talking to a Pretty Place. Well, yeah, there were holes in the wall. I know about the holes in the wall. Yes. Hold on. Zane hot then. Most people find him to be maybe hotter because he has the one eye. In fact, actually, I found out there's a subset of people who actually do find it hotter when a character has like one eye covered, which is actually what I did for Satoshi in Alphawitch Academy.
Oh god!
And actually, I can confirm that paid off.
Time to give Ulrich an eye patch. And
not an eye patch. No. It has to be an eye covered with the hair. That's how it's got to go.
Time to change his whole design so I can skillfully dodge a subgroup of people.
I mean, maybe you don't. That's the thing. That was the image.
Creepy baby.
Eye
patches are outdated. I know eye patches are outdated, which is why I want to give him one so I can skillfully dodge a subgroup of people like I'm a shit ballerina.
I mean, that depends if you want to dodge them or not. Getting comments about how hot your characters are might be. I mean, to be honest, to me that's just hilarious when it happens. That's why I like relish all the Empress Sims and stuff, because it's just funny to me. Anyway, implies they could have found shells in the stairway. Ah, yes, that's the one thing that doesn't make sense about that scene: the lack of shell cases from the bullets. Thank you, Maya. Clarifying.
Wait, lack of shell cases. That could mean blank were fired.
I mean, yes. Again, if it was actually like that much detail that they actually wanted to go into.
I
But
don't
yeah,
believe
Well,
but yeah,
I
Moon, so
don't. I
being,
don't think it was meant to be blanks because Michael literally said killer, and at this
yeah,
point,
and nobody else was. Yeah, poor Alex the guard there. Anyway, that was what made no sense. Yeah, well, there's a lot about that scene that doesn't make any sense. We will dissect that more when we get there. Or actually, you can check out my reaction from when the episode first came out, which will be somewhere in the channel in the archives. Will be
as long as you stay with me, I'm
all
alright.
right.
I
I
wanna
wanna
hold
hold
you.
ya. Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, but that wasn't. That's not an
Yeah, no, that was
indicative
at
bit
the
of the
end
review.
of episode 4, and it was so hilariously dumb that that song played at that point. Where it's
That's
just
not an
like,
indicator of the review, by the way. That was just okay.
I know, but it's like she got shot, and you guys are playing a happy song. And, I mean, it's like when Jacob played Paradise after Julius was
After
found
Julius got
knocked
knocked
out
out,
and
yes.
bleeding. Yeah, I'm making fun of you for that because that was such a
that
bad
episode was the
choice.
reason I did that, by the way.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not play happy music after a giant dramatic reveal happens. It's very bad.
a dramatic ordeal or an important character death. Maybe that was the signal we should have taken for the actual death of the character being a false fucking flag.
I really don't think so because that was we were supposed to take away from the fact that, like, oh no, look at that bit there. It's again the shock of a fake out death that was played out much longer than Aaron's was because that was like one episode. But I remember the time when Aaron fell off that cliff and suddenly everyone was was panicked about him being dead and such.
Oh, I cried during that episode. It was great.
Well, yeah, there you go. See? Exactly.
And am I the only one who saw him die and didn't believe it for a damn second?
Oh no, I didn't believe it either. But although my reason for it was actually, if not believing it, was actually wrong, because I thought the cliff wasn't actually that high up.
There was literally a shot in that episode where the cliff was objectively viewed as high up, but okay.
The shot from the next episode really confirms how high it was.
Yeah.
That was the difference. Yeah.
I mean, hey, at least they brought in at least a literal Deus Ex Machina instead of just having Aaron survive the fall, like apparently Aphmau originally wanted to, which sounds like a horrible idea. Like, Aaron could just somehow survive that massive cliff fall and being stabbed in the chest at the same time,
Well, he's him coming back to life is not that much better, frankly. Anyway,
well, it's better.
She killed him off, and Darius who says she wouldn't do it again. It was the same music. It was built up as doing that again. I didn't think it was there because it wasn't a good death. What you mean falling off a cliff wasn't good enough for you?
Or maybe the context? I don't know. I mean, like, I think that killing off a character by having a loved one kill them is kind of messed up and kind of an interesting way to die. But
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, the way it was framed, we didn't see him get pushed or anything. We didn't really see the knife wound until like the next episode. So it could have been that he just jumped off himself. That was another possibility there.
Dang, you out here like right? And wait, I'm not gonna say that on Twitch, but self-harming Aaron, man,
self-unaliving.
Yeah, that words. I don't want to get you banned off Twitch.
I feel like, yeah, you know what? Last stream was already a risk enough from what happened. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I was going to do a segue before about like the people. Oh, hold on. Like I cried, but I knew logically that he wasn't dead because it wasn't a good place for him to die. Like that could have halted the story extraordinarily. Well, again, it happened in Diaries. It was somewhat halted there. I mean.
And then we went to like a pregnancy plot with Aphmau, which is I think the whole Aphmau getting pregnant in that version of the story kind of came out of nowhere though. I don't know.
Well, most pregnancies do, so
Yeah, but like
I think that's...
like there was no. I mean, the only implication that they would have been that kind of intimate would have been them sleeping in the same bed, which it could have been innocent.
Oh,
I don't know because
by Aphmau at that point, like we're like 100 and so episodes into the series after like a teaser between like two guys that she was not interested in romantically, but interested in her. and like had a bunch of intimate scenes with both of them. It's like if you're not going to do it then, it's that was it was a surprise that it happened later. Anyway,
yeah, I did not like that whole Aaron thing during Diaries though. I did not feel for Armau during that series at all. Like the only reason I actually started caring about them was because of Phoenix Drop High season 2. Like MyStreet season 1 didn't even sell me on them because most of that season was dedicated.
I don't think you were supposed to feel for Armel at that point because they were a background thing. It was something that Armel chose out of the blue, outside of what everyone expected her to do, including the fan base. It was framed so that you weren't supposed to feel for it at that point. Then MyStreet came.
Yeah, but then we're dealing with her grief in that season, and it's like I don't feel that as bad because I never really got to know Aaron.
There is that. I mean, that situation, if you consider her to be grieving for a friend, then that would have worked just as well there. So yeah, I loved Armel and Darius. Okay, so they had a few moments. They had a few, but not as many as one might expect for, a baby. Okay.
For a baby.
Armel and Darius was so good, like Aaron. Oh wait, I forgot. Aaron has both eyes covered for the entirety of Diaries, pretty much. That's why double the attraction.
Oh my! Oh yeah.
Yes, let it be known, gentlemen, if you want to attract the ladies, just I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't ban me, Twitch. Anyway,
stop yourself and just don't do the thing. Just never consider self-abuse.
No. Just like grow bangs, and then you're fine. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, I can do it right now. Am I hot yet? Hold on. Let me put on my glasses.
Okay. Anyways, any other thoughts we have on the episode?
No, nothing else. All right, Emo Ghosty, would you like to say anything else?
I did not like the amount of retcons in this episode. Why did you have to do this to us again, Aphmo?
Because Aphmo does not plan out her story.
Oh, that explains Langate.
If you don't plan out your story, then if it's because of the nature of what you're doing, if you're waiting episodes too quickly, so be it. But at least check back to look at your work so that you don't have to run into this problem. That's the thing. I don't necessarily mind if it's not all thought out from the beginning. In fact, I'd be surprised if it were. I mean, I personally like the idea of writing a story as one goes along if one has the audience to do so. That's why I'm pulling back on planning the parts of the music in particular. But at the same time, I will check back on other episodes. I'll have other people look at that stuff. Aiden's pretty good at that, by the way. And just generally try and remember as much as I can so I don't contradict myself. So yeah. Anyways, we'll get to that. I guess cliffhanger effective. Next episode will be on the 29th. Same time, same place. 5 years.
5 years later.
Please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters.
Your opinion matters.
And subscribe to us already, and also follow if you're not already. If you're also watching on Twitch, because I am most likely going to get banned someday for something at this rate. So we'll see how long this lasts. But yeah, subscribe on YouTube. Obviously, go to the archive. And yes. That note. Until next time. Farewell.
Farewell.